Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of Math Review. Today we're going to be looking at rounding, and we're going to be doing that with practice points set 17, page 2. Let's go ahead and get started. Remember, when we're rounding, we always look at the number next to or right of the number we're rounding to check to see if the number pushes that number up or if it keeps it the same. So let's go ahead and take a look. Number 1 says, what is 687 and 88 hundredths rounded to the nearest whole number? So that's our key there, that we're going to the whole number place. Well, our whole number is always the ones place, the number right before our decimal. So that's what we're going to underline. We go ahead and draw an arrow to its neighbor to the right, because that neighbor tells us what to do. If it's 5 or above, it's a strong number and it's going to push that 7 up. If it's 4 or below, it means we're going to leave that 7 alone because it's a weaker number. So that 8 is a bigger, stronger number. It's 5 or above, so it's going to make that 7 turn to an 8. So we're going to have 688. Now we don't have to put anything after the decimal because we're only wanting a whole number answer. So we're done. The next one says, what is 3,819 and 8 tenths rounded to the nearest hundred? So hundreds place, we need to check, is going to be before our decimal again. And if you're not sure, you can always count out ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, so the 8 is in our hundreds place. Remember, we're going to look to the neighbor to the right. It's a 1. A 1 is 4 or below, so we're going to leave that 8 alone. But when we write out our answer, everything to the left stays the same. The number itself is going to also stay since the 1 was a weaker number. And everything to the right of it, to the decimal point, turns into zeros. We don't have to add the decimal and the numbers after the decimal because we're rounding to a whole number again. All right, number 3. Which of the following decimals would round to 20? Okay, so we have to show our thinking for each option on this one. So for each of them, we're going to round them and see what they give us. We'll circle the answers that round to 20. So we're looking for a whole number, since 20 is a whole number. So we're going to look at that 9, look next door. That 4 is weak, so it's going to leave that 9 alone. This is going to stay at 19. That's not a correct answer. 20.3, we're going to look to the right again, and we're going to say, okay, that's a weak number also. It's 4 or below, so it's going to stay at 20. That is a correct answer, but there may be another one, so let's keep going. Again, we're looking at the whole number. Look to the right. That's an 8. That's 5 or above, so that's going to push that 0 up to the next number, which is a 1. 21 is not what we're looking for, so that one's not correct. 19 and 9 tenths. Okay, we have a 9. We look over here. That 9 is going to make this 9 go up. Well, we can't have this turn into a 10 right here. It has to move that 1 over into the tens place. So that's going to become 20. And that is another correct answer. So for number 3, we have answers B and D are both correct. Okay, number 4. What is 1,872,082 rounded to the nearest 100,000? Okay, so going back to place value, we have to remember where our places are. And if you always want to start at your ones place and count out, go for it. Okay, so 1, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000. That's where I want to round to. So that's the number I underline. I'm going to look to the right, and I see that it's a 7. Well, 7 is 5 or above, so it's going to push that 8 up to a 9. When I rewrite it, everything to the left stays the same. That 8 turns into a 9, and now everything after it, to the right of it, is going to turn to zeros. So our answer is 1,900,000. The last question on this page is number 5. The distance from Union Mill to Centerville Elementary is 3.8 miles. What is that rounded to the nearest mile? In other words, they're asking us for the whole number. Okay, so our number was 3.8. Let's go ahead and write that over here. 3.8. I know I want to look at the whole number, so I'm going to go to the right. That's an 8. So that 8 is going to push that 3 up. So that 3 is going to turn into a 4. Rounded to the nearest mile, Centerville Elementary is about 4 miles away from Union Mill. All right, thank you for listening to Practice Points Set 17, page 2 about rounding. If you have any questions, remember to ask your teacher.